Welcome, Roomies. It's Lindsay and Maria, and we are two real life college roomies who love movies. Lindsay has a degree in film, and I was a movie review critic for like 20 years. And so we're just kind of going over some of the things that we kind of missed in that time. So in this time, it was my choice to pick the film, and I chose Train to Busan. Now I chose Train to Busan, but I accidentally watched a different train movie. But we'll watch that some other time.
Yeah. Why have I been calling it Last Train to Busan?
I don't know. I saw that and I was like, just Train to Busan.
Right, it's just a train. It wasn't the last one.
Yeah. Well, as far as we know. Well, you know what?
Right.
It couldn't have been because there's actually a sequel and a third movie.
Right.
I haven't seen those yet, but I do love this one. So, Train to Busan came out in 2016. I don't remember if I saw this in theaters or not. I think I did.
So, with it being a foreign movie, did you have to go to a specialty theater?
No, it would have just been a screening.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Train to Busan, again, Korean film, directed by Young Sung Ho. I'm definitely saying that wrong. I am so sorry. It's a great. Well, anyway, so let's go over. Have you ever heard this movie before? Before this?
Never heard of it.
Never.
Not one time.
Okay. How much like zombie stuff do you really watch?
Not that much. I think the last zombie movie I watched was World War Z, and then I've seen Zombieland. I haven't seen a sequel, but I saw the original.
Sequel's good too.
Yeah. I like the original.
The original's good too. Yeah, these are both good.
And I like World War Z. I went into it, however, not knowing anything about the movie. Did not know it was a zombie movie, and was surprised, to say the least.
Oh no! What do you think it was?
I had no idea, but it was Brad Pitt. So I was like, you can't go wrong with Brad Pitt.
Apparently you can.
Yeah, a little bit. But yeah. But it wasn't bad. I liked the movie. It just was. I didn't know going in. I didn't know what I was watching.
Wow. Have you seen Walking Dead?
No. I tried, but I didn't watch the whole episode. So
the first one?
The Walking Dead. You talking about the TV show, right?
Yeah, you say you didn't finish the whole episode?
Yeah, I tried to watch one episode and I didn't finish it.
Okay.
Just wasn't my thing.
That's fine. Yeah. So anyway, so we have our main character here, whose names, I'm so sorry, I'm probably not going to get them right. So I'm probably just going to call their nicknames because I don't want to disrespect people's names.
Right.
So we have a fund manager who is the father here, the dad. And he's a workaholic, divorced father. He's spending way too much time at work, not really spending time with his kid. His mother's also moved in to help take care of him and the kid. And she's telling him like, maybe you should talk to your ex-wife. Maybe y'all can have a little discussion. I'm worried about my granddaughter and everything. She had a recital that day that he did not attend, and she was really looking for him. He wasn't there, and the song that she sings at the recital is Aloha Oi, right? Which is a Hawaiian song called Farewell to Thee, right? And so the English lyrics are, especially with the chorus, are farewell to thee, the charming one who dwells in the shaded bowers, one fond embrace, ere I depart until we meet again. Sweet memories come back to me, bringing fresh remembrances of the past. Dearest one, yes, you are mine own. From you, true love shall never depart. I have seen and watched your loveliness, the sweet rose of Manawili. And 'tis the birds of love dwell and sip honey from your lips. So that's the song she was trying to sing that he did not come and see her for.
Right.
And she's been very unhappy, basically, with her father ignoring her, and she wants to go see her mother for her birthday. Her mom is calling. She's like, she tells him like she's really so upset she wants to come by herself. Like, come see me for her birthday. And that's all right. He's like, yeah, I didn't do it. He hadn't got her a present though.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes out that night to get her a present and comes home. He has a discussion with his mom and he gives her the present that he got, right? After her talking to her mom about how she really wants to come see her. And he was like, oh, I got you this. And she's like, okay. And so she opens it up and it's a Wii, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which would have been really great if it weren't for the fact that he had already got her one last year for Children's Day.
Oh, wow.
So,
Yeah.
and it was sitting right there on her dresser.
Yeah. So now she has two.
She don't want to.
No.
Take that back. She's like, I want to go see my mom.
Right.
You know? She's like, she's like, you can come with me or I'm going by myself.
Right. Either way, I'm going to see my mom.
I'm seeing my mom. Right.
Yeah.
And I would say she's maybe like 8 or 9, maybe.
Yeah.
So he's like, okay, I'll take her,
Mm-hmm.
And so the next day they get on the KTX 101 at Seoul Station, en route to Busan. And, there's a lot of other people on there that we see that we're going to meet like throughout the movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get this couple and the woman is heavily pregnant. And you get like a baseball team and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, just headed to Busan, just normal people, a couple of older ladies who are sisters.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so they're on the train. But before they had gotten on this man was stopped at some kind of checkpoint, right? And they're like spraying some kind of sanitizer everywhere. And he's like, is this hoof and mouth disease? Because you guys killed all of my livestock last time, because of this, blah, blah, blah. And the guy's like, no, it's not that. Don't worry about it. He's like, well, if it's that, and you kill my livestock, well, he's just like, whatever. So he drives off and his phone is ringing and he tries to pick it up. And he's looking at the phone. And I'm just like, it makes me so anxious when people do not watch the road in movies. Or TV, I'm always like, watch the road, please. Mm-hmm. And so he's not watching the road, and he hits something, and it's a deer, right?
Yeah.
He gets out, sees the deer. He's like, oh, I'm just having the worst day. I was like, I think the deer is having the worst day, actually.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Mm-hmm. So as he drives away, the deer gets up.
Yeah.
And reanimates, and you can see its eyes are all cloudy and everything. So they said, briefly that there was like some kind of leak from some kind of lab nearby. So that's why they're doing all this sanitization. Mm-hmm. Now, the dad works with the company, I believe, that is doing this experiment, right? Mm-hmm. He knows like something is falling apart there. So he's like, pull all of our stock out right now. Because he's a fund manager. That's what it is. Mm-hmm. He's like, pull all of our stock out right now because something's going on in that company. We don't want to be a part of it, basically. Even though his assistant is like, really want to do that?
Right.
Cause repercussions. He's like, yeah, we should do that. So they're on the train and they're getting like some kind of news reports about, like some riots or something, right? And it's just kind of like simmering in the background. And as everybody's getting on the train, one of the I don't know if it's a conductor or just a guy who works for the train service had kind of turned around, and you see a woman like run onto the train very awkwardly.
Yeah.
Breathing heavily and stuff. He doesn't really notice, and if he does, he probably thinks, oh, well, she's just late.
Right? Yeah. Right.
She's just running to catch the train. No. She had been bitten.
Yeah.
And now she's on the train in the bathroom. Mm-hmm. Which would have been fine if they had just left her there.
Yeah. Yeah. And she's like going through the change.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Shaking and, breathing. And I was just, yeah. I do like, they have so many really like incredible zombie actors in this movie. And they do like so many great kind of like contortions and stuff. Mm-hmm. I was like, how do they do all this?
Yeah.
Because there's like there's a few points where you just see people just like twisting around like they're totally bruised or what. It's just like, whoa.
Yeah, they're like flopping on the floor like they fish out of water.
Mm-hmm. Violent.
Very violent.
Mm-hmm.
Very violent.
So they're on the train, and somebody eventually finds. Oh, it's one of the train attendants. She gets a message saying, "Hey, there's this lady who's been in this bathroom for like a really long time, and I'm sure other passengers need to use that bathroom, right?" So she goes to check on her, and that's when everything starts. Really, she jumps on this woman's back and is like just chewing into her neck, and the woman like is like running through the
Yeah.
trying to get away, but of course this woman is like attached.
She's like riding her back
Hmm.
like a backpack.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And so, she goes down, and they're like they're in one of the train cars, and everybody's like, nobody's doing anything because they're like confused. Because, of course, like, what is going on?
Right, right. Which is realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I would be confused as hell too. Like, what is this performative? Like, what are we doing?
Right. Is she helping her out? Like, what's
Right.
happening? Yeah.
Like, I'm not a medic, so I'm not getting up.
No.
Like,
Right. Zombie attack would be the last thing on my mind. So,
like zombies, those aren't real. Like,
yeah. So with that, the infection spreads really rapidly. The transformations happen really quickly, right? It spreads so fast. So people, they start running, right? One of the guys who were the train attendant, one of the other train attendants is telling everybody to run. So they're going, except for some people who just seem to be staring, which is, I was just like, why are you not moving? I don't understand.
they're in shock.
I guess, but they see all these people running past them, and even one guy is telling everybody else to run, and they just stay there. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, we can find out what happens later, can't we?
Yeah. Like, I'll
Yeah.
watch the news and figure it out. I'll put two and two together. But I would have been gone.
Yeah, 100%. So, they're trying to escape, and they're like locking the doors and everything. And then, the pregnant couple, the mom figures out, oh, if they can't see us, then they won't know we're here. They won't try to attack us. And so she throws water on the door and puts newspaper over it so they can't really see in. Because once they turn, their eyes get like super milky.
Yeah.
So they can't really see very well. And apparently they can't smell very well, I guess. It doesn't really give them super senses or anything, which is great.
Yeah. Right.
So they do that. And they're getting more news reports, and there's things going on social media and everything. And the main character dad is like, he's trying to figure out what's going on. He calls his company because they're like kind of indirectly involved with what's happening. So he wants his status report about what's going on. He calls one of his friends in the military, and he tells them, there's a quarantine zone near Busan and everything. Maybe you should get off at this other place and, go to the east side, not the main one or whatever. He's trying to get him out, right?
Yeah.
It's like, okay. So everything's still happening. Like, it's just, there's a lot of action in the movie.
Yeah.
So, I can't really just say it.
Right. Like, it's a lot of, it's a zombie movie, so you're going to see a whole lot of action, and it's not that many words too.
Right.
So I know there was a time when the father called home to talk to his mom, and his mom was turning. He pretty much heard her, and that kind of, you can just see his heart breaking, like in his face. That was kind of sad.
Yeah. She was like, take care of your daughter. She always wants her mom, even though I'm here. Basically trying to say goodbye.
Yeah.
And he keeps asking, are you okay? What's happened? Whatever. And she won't really answer his questions.
Yeah.
She's just like, everybody's mad and attacking each other. Yeah. And you can hear her voice doesn't sound right. Her breathing doesn't sound right. And then you eventually just hear her go, right? Before the phone just disconnects.
Yeah. That was pretty sad.
Yeah, that was really sad.
Another sad part was the pregnant couple. The guy, he pretty much sacrificed himself for
Well, before we even get there, he
yeah,
is the MVP for me of this movie.
yeah,
And so we have these two characters who are kind of mirror for the main dad character, right? You
hmm,
have the guy who's with the pregnant lady, and you have this guy who's also in business. And so you have a really good dad, and then you have a man who's extremely selfish on the other end, right?
hmm,
And he and the main character dad is kind of in the middle. So he could go either way, right?
yeah,
And so I like that a lot. Um, and the guy who's this, part of the pregnant couple, he's a big dude, right? Real strong,
yeah, real macho
r-
man looking.
yeah. Very, he looks out for everybody else,
Hmm.
trying to make sure everybody is safe. And his wife, I love their relationship. Like,
Yeah,
they're so cute together.
yeah,
Um, and he's always just like, "Baby, are you all right?" You know?
yeah. Right, right. He's the type of person that, like, if you just see him without having any interaction, you'll think he was like a douche or something like that. But
Oh,
he's completely opposite.
yeah, he's really nice. And
Hmm.
he's excited about like the family they're gonna have or whatever. Because at one
Hmm.
point, a little girl is like wanting to know what's happening, so she gets out of her seat while the people who work for the train company are like trying to find out what's happening too, right? Because they found this guy who appears to be homeless on the train,
Yeah,
and he's kind of muttering about how everybody's dead, da da da. Da. He's got some severe PTSD because he's seen what's happening.
right, right.
And they just think something's wrong with him. He's just crazy,
Hmm.
No.
I know.
And
He's
right,
lost it because of what's going on.
exactly.
Yeah.
So she sees him, and the other businessman, the selfish businessman on the train, is like, he's so rude to her, and he keeps patting her on the head or whatever. And I was like, "Stop touching me! Like, what are you
Hmm.
doing? I don't know you,
Right,
stranger."
right, right,
And basically, she just needs to go back to her seat because, like, why was she over here? They let her just stand there for a while.
right, right. And she watching it all. Yeah.
So they actually pass through one of the stations. They don't even stop, right?
Hmm.
And there are people at the train station, like, and they're banging on the train, like, let us in, let us in. They're getting attacked, you know,
Hmm.
while this is happening, which is, I just love the way it was shot. It's
Yeah,
really cool.
yeah,
So,
yeah. But it
mhm,
has you questioning your own morals and judgment. Like, if you were in that situation, how would you handle it?
mhm.
Because I don't know if I would be able to open the door. You know what I
No,
mean?
mm-mm.
And there's a few times where they've come into close proximity because somebody opened the door or somebody's trying to save somebody. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it does have you second guess what you would do in that situation.
Mhm, mhm.
You know, and is it wrong to want to put yourself first?
To what extent, too?
Right, right.
Because we have this scale of male characters, right?
Hmm. Yeah,
And all of them die. So,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So
I-
it's 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 wild. It's wild, but yeah, it's like pretty much all of them except for one died trying to save somebody else.
They all, yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. All but one.
yeah, yeah. So it does have you really thinking.
Yeah,
Not that
which I like
we
a lot.
plan on having a zombie apocalypse anytime
Right.
soon, but I'm sure they didn't plan it either.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Fingers crossed.
right,
Uh,
right.
especially with all the lack of communications our health departments are now having.
Oh
So
God,
fingers
Lord,
crossed.
right.
Uh, so
God
they
forbid.
actually, huh?
I say, God forbid.
Oh yeah, Lord willing, the creek don't rise.
Right.
Um, so they actually go to another station, and they force them to stop and search for another train, right? And so people get off and all that kind of thing, and because this is where he thinks he's going to meet up with the military to like get them out. And so everybody's like running to the main square. He's going to the east square. That's where he told him to go. But the guy who they think is homeless sees him. He's like, "I'm going with you."
Right.
He's going with him, whatever. And then all of a sudden, there's this, and a man appears. He's like, "Help me, please!" He's been bitten several times, and all of the army comes through, and they're all zombies now. And so they have to get out of there. So they're running, and they're trying to close this door. It's one of those glass shop doors with the lock on the top and everything, and it's getting really hard. Eventually, they're able to get it. They're running. They break the glass. It was just like, oh God, okay.
Right.
Even on the train, there get to be so many of them, they block their own way.
Yeah. And they broke through glass as well on the train. Yeah.
So they're running, and a lot of the baseball guys are out there, and two of them get attacked immediately, running out and everything. And what was funny, we're just like, oh my God, to me was like, one of the first baseball guys, he runs out and he's looking like left, and the zombie comes from his right. So he doesn't see him. But the guy behind him sees what happens and does the same thing.
Same thing, yep.
I was like, what?
It was just like, I guess you didn't think fat meat was greasy because, yeah.
Maybe you should have looked right.
Right.
And his other friend is like frozen in fear, which fair.
Very.
But they're running because the train is leaving the station. Right? So they're running, trying to catch the train, and a bunch of the soldiers are actually like soldier zombies are trying to get through to and then they get through and they burst like this window that's above the train and start landing on the train.
Yeah.
Which is when the train is like, oh, we gotta go.
Right.
It's raining zombies. We gotta leave.
Right. Like literally.
Yeah. Because there was another video of this guy like skating in the parking lot or whatever, and these two helicopters fly by and zombies fall from the helicopters somehow.
Yeah. That was wild. Yeah. That was a wild scene.
Now apparently there is a prequel, an animated prequel.
Okay.
Which I definitely want to see, because I was like, how did that happen?
Right.
That's wild. So they eventually are able to get back on the train after beating some zombies down. So the one remaining baseball kid, neglectful dad and good dad are back on the train.
Yeah.
The baseball kid finds this girl who had come with them because she was going to be the cheerleader, I guess. I don't really. Okay. We don't have cheerleaders in baseball. I don't know if they have cheerleaders in baseball in Korea. I don't know.
Yeah.
And only one. Like, just be like the manager or something, girl. Whatever. Who cares?
Yeah. Right.
Because she wanted to be on there with the guy that she liked. Yeah. Have a cute little trip, I guess, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, it was cute, but I mean, how old were these? Were these like high school kids?
Yeah, I think they were high school.
They were high school. Okay, so I would be pissed if my kid did a Romeo Juliet-esque type death. I would
I imagine you would.
Yeah.
If you're around to know about it.
True. But if I was and I found out how he became a zombie, I would really be pissed. Because you could have had a fighting chance.
Could have.
Yeah.
One of the things I like a lot that the movie does is the guys who are wearing like short sleeves, they like wrap their arms in some other fabrics and stuff so they can't be bitten as easily.
Yeah.
Because
nobody thought about wrapping their necks.
Well, you got to be able to move your head, so I get that.
You can move your head. I mean, it would be a little stiff.
You got your head on swivel in this situation.
Oh, true.
You can't just turn from the shoulders.
But the neck is so right there, and they always go for the neck.
They do. I mean, but if you can keep them off you, the neck is harder to reach.
Yeah, but what if you look left and they come from the right?
Then you better be keeping your head on a swivel.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So okay, so they get back on the train. They get a call from the pregnant wife. And she's like, "Where are you?"
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "We're in a bathroom in car 13." You know, because she's also with the daughter. Because
Yeah.
they had a little bonding moment where she was like, "You can, this is my baby. Here's some candy." You know, trying to calm her down. You know,
Mm-hmm.
all of that.
Yeah.
So they've been keeping up with each other this whole time,
Mm-hmm.
and so they're like, "Oh, we got to get car 13."
Yeah.
She's like, "Bring your ass here." And he's like, "Okay."
Right. Like
Like,
seriously.
yeah, I was like, "I love you.
Immediately.
These guys
Right.
are great." Um, so they find themselves like getting overwhelmed with the zombified baseball players, and they're trying to fight them off, but there's just too many of them. But they go through a tunnel and they stop because they can't see them. And they notice like there's some baseballs that actually fall to the floor in a different area of the car, and they kind of pay a little attention to that. So they're like, okay, if we can make some noise. So he taps his bat, on the further end of the train, and they all go to that, and so that way they're able to leave.
Mm-hmm.
So they leave, and but right before they're able to close the door, they get the light comes right back on. It's like, oh my god, I need y'all to move faster.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So now they're caught between that car and another car with more zombies, and they're gonna hit another tunnel soon, right?
Mm-hmm.
So neglectful dad is like, "Hey, give me your cell phone." So he gets good dad's cell phone. He puts his number in everything, and once they hit that tunnel, he puts the cell phone at the other end of the train, right, and calls it. And so they go for the noise because they can't see anything.
Mm-hmm.
So that way they're able to get through there. And it's just really great because it's just really tense and everything, right? Like, are they gonna have enough time with the tunnels? Like, how long is this tunnel gonna be? Is the phone gonna go off? Um, I was like, they kind of missed the opportunity for humor here. I felt like, my phone, man, but you can't make a whole lot of noise.
Right. Right.
So
Like, why
that
it gotta be
works.
my phone? Right? Why can't it
Oh,
be
because
your phone?
that's the thing. iPhones are only to be used for heroes, so you'll never see a villain using an iPhone.
Okay.
Hmm.
I can get jiggy with that.
So they get away from there and they're like in a bathroom, which how those bathrooms are tiny.
Yes.
And good dad is not a small dude, okay?
No, he's very tall. He's very
Hmm.
tall.
And beefy. I like
Oh,
it.
I'm thinking of neglectful dad. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the good dad. Yeah, he's thickums.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So they're in the bathroom and neglectful dad's like looking up I guess the GPS for the train route so he can see where the other tunnels are coming.
Mm.
And he asks the other dude, like, why is your ringtone so tacky? Because good dad has helped this guy out twice or three times now. And he refuses to thank him for some
Mm.
reason.
Ain't no telling.
I was like, he clearly helped you, my guy. Like, just say thank you. It's no big
Right.
deal.
At least the very least you can do is say thank you.
Right. It's not like something you had familiarity with. We're all in a zombie apocalypse together right now. Like,
Kind of, sorta. Kind of, sorta.
so say thank you.
But it doesn't mean that you shouldn't have manners.
Exactly.
You
This is what
know?
you should have manners.
Right. Absolutely.
So they get through that, and they do eventually get to because this is actually when did reach the wife and daughter.
Mm-hmm.
They're just across from each other in separate bathrooms, and honestly, I would have just stayed there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that would have been a good plan.
Yeah, yeah. Luckily, the conductor is all the way in the front of the train, so he doesn't have to deal with any of this at this point.
Right. He chilling.
He's chilling. He's trying to figure out, like, where can we go? Like, where can we
Yeah.
dock the train? And they're telling him communications are so inconsistent, and we don't really know.
Yeah. Yeah. There was a point where he did try to do the receiver thing to Busan, and wasn't nobody answering.
Mm-mm.
So
Nobody.
they weren't aware on if it was a safe place to go or not.
Yeah.
They just was going on a prayer, pretty much.
Right. And this trip was only supposed to be an hour, a
Yeah.
little under an hour, actually.
Yeah.
The movie
Yeah.
is 2 hours. So,
Yeah. It was supposed to be a safe trip minus the zombies. It was supposed to be all of that, you know?
hmm because
And
he was like, because then Gletful Dad was like, "I'll be back before lunch."
yeah, all right. We don't even know when lunch is at this point.
You're the lunch at this point,
Right.
okay? That's you.
Right.
Um, so let's see. Whew, my goodness. Yeah, they're able to get to the front of the car and where the rest of the passengers are sheltered. And there's the business dude who's like, they get into some kind of argument. And then he's
Mhm.
like, he starts telling the other passengers, "Oh, he's a zombie. He's changing. Looking at him. Look at him. Look at his eyes, or whatever."
Yeah.
When he looks totally normal.
Right. And he was looking at you like, really?
Right, like, "You think this is gonna fly? Like, this is
Right. Right. So,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah, he owed him an ass whooping from earlier though. So
You really did, because
yeah.
he's just an awful dude.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. But he's in the same breath, he's in survival mode. You know what I'm saying? So, and that goes back to that conflict on should you look out for yourself or should you help? Like he's
Mhm,
an extreme case, of course, because he didn't have to be an asshole in the process. But
mhm.
yeah.
And then we also have, like, the 2 sisters who get separated,
Hmm.
and I believe it's due to the actions of that dude that one of the sisters gets bit.
Um, was it due to her actions? I thought she was coming out the bathroom or something.
She was, but at one point, he no, was it him? No, it was her. But anyway, she gets bit, and there was some kind of failure in people trying to, like, not have that happen to her, because she's, like, really upset with everybody else for what
Mhm.
happened to her sister.
Yeah.
And also, one of them looks 35. They're supposed to be, like, 65 or so, and one of them looks
Mhm.
clearly wearing old age makeup for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah. In a wig.
Yeah. But she's really just kind of disgusted, at the passengers and really just depressed about what's happened to her sister, so
Yeah.
wow, this business dude is saying all this bunch of bullshit. She opens the door
Yeah.
and
She talks to her sister through the wall, even though her sister's a zombie now.
Mhm.
And that was pretty sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause she talks to her through it and then she looks back at the people like I would rather be with the zombies than you people.
Yeah.
And
Over here fighting over what?
yeah. And they were the people in that car were too fixated on blocking the other door that nobody was paying attention to that door. And
Yeah,
once somebody was like, she's opening the door, it was
too
too
late.
late.
It was too late.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
folks
But
had to hide, had to, escape by hiding in bathrooms and stuff.
hmm yeah, yeah. But she wanted to be with her sister. And
Mhm.
you know, I can get that. You know what I'm saying? They're older. It's probably just them
Mhm.
two. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? And she's just like, sure, what am I gonna do? Like I've seen that several times in real life where it'd be like sisters and they're still together after X amount of years. And it's
Mhm.
just them two. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Mhm.
So I get it. I get it.
And, when we first see them, one of the first things we see is, like, she boiled some eggs for her sister to eat on the
Mhm.
train, and her sister was like, "It's not even an hour trip, you didn't have to do all this." She was like, "Just eat," because she
Right,
loves
right.
her sisters, they're sweet.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, she was like, "I lost my sister because of y'all, and y'all over here arguing about all this, whatever. Never
Mhm.
mind. Just forget all this.
Right, right,
I don't wanna be doing this without her and doing this with y'all."
right. Like,
Yeah.
I'm done. We're
I'm
done
done.
here.
I'm done. Punch out.
Mhm. Yeah.
So the train, like, they come across a block track, right? So they can't actually move anymore, so they have to try and find another train.
Mhm.
And one of the guys pushes the other dude into some zombies, and then there's a flaming locomotive, flaming train that derails and separates the group. Like, what? Everything is on fire. Like,
Yeah.
there
Right.
are lots of explosions actually.
A lot going
Um, yeah,
on.
trapping a few of the other folks on one side, you know, and the homeless man is like underneath a carriage full of zombies, and they're all running trying to escape. So actually, neglectful dad gets bitten, like because they finally can get back on a train, and they're trying to like they're on the outside. They can't really get inside, and there's zombies are following them, like, and they're nonstop,
Yeah.
nonstop,
Yeah.
and try to give them a chance to give the pregnant woman and his daughter a chance to like get on the train inside. He takes on this zombie who's on there with them. He ends up getting bit, and he actually has himself handcuffed to the train so he can't go anywhere and attack anybody. And you see, like, through his mind, like, the last thing, he remembers is, like, his daughter
Yeah.
and how much he loves her and stuff like that before he turns into a zombie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He handled that situation pretty well, because I thought he was gonna have the waterworks and everything, you know what I mean? But he pulled the pregnant lady and his daughter into the front of the train where the conductor would be if they had one, but the conductor got killed. So when that happened, he had her focus and told her, instructions, and then he got up out of there. And poor girl, she was screaming for her dad,
Mm-hmm.
but he went to the back, and, you know, he did what he had to do.
Yeah, because throughout the movie, we see him start to be less selfish and more
Mhm.
caring, not only
Yeah.
towards his daughter, but to other people. Because at
Other
one
people.
point, when they're trying to go to the East Block or whatever, East Square or something, she's like, "We need to tell everybody."
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "No."
Mm-hmm.
She was like, "You don't care about anybody but yourself, and that's why mom left you."
Mm.
Well,
Yeah.
I think
Like,
she's
oh.
right.
Yeah.
So, but it's really touching because he's like thinking about her birth and everything, and like just that was
Mm-hmm.
really what he should have been spending time on. Instead of
Yeah.
being at work so much.
Yeah. And I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, unfortunately, we live in a world where we got to get money to withstand, and sometimes things fall to the wayside. Like, caring for your kids.
Hopefully not that. Right.
Yeah.
But it can be hard to do a balance, but like he was just so he wasn't compromised with her at all. Like just very
Yeah.
like not,
Right. He
and
was
like
he
to the
was the
point where
type
he didn't
that
even know what to get her for her birthday. Like
right. He was the type that as long as he took care of her financially, he was all right.
mm,
Like
yeah.
meant like he made himself all right in his mind, even though his daughter is pretty much screaming for his attention. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
She wants to leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And there is a conversation he does have with his ex-wife earlier where he's like, because she's like, I don't want to go through basically like an ugly divorce, a lawsuit kind of thing. And he's like, well, I want to raise the kid. It's like, do you though?
Right. But you're not there to raise the kid.
Right. Are you just trying to do this to punish your wife?
Yeah. Right.
And there's also a point where they try to call her and her phone is off.
Yeah.
I hope
Right.
it's a cell phone issue.
Right. I hope it's a tower.
Right.
So
So they are on this train with no conductor.
yeah.
And they find another train blockage and they have to stop just before they get to this tunnel that's like right by Busan. And so they exit there's just her and the pregnant lady holding hands, walking down the train track. And these snipers see them and they're like prepared to shoot them. And I'm just like, if you can see them through your your sniper binocular, you can tell they're not zombies.
Right. Because I'm like, zombies will be coming at you at a certain pace and they wouldn't be walking normal. They were
Wouldn't be
walking
holding hands.
too right. They were walking too normal for them to be zombies. So I get that. I get them being cautious, but they were clearly not zombies. Like,
Yeah, especially when she starts singing Aloha Oe. Well, zombies obviously can't sing, so
Right, right, right. That's what
yeah.
kept them from not getting their head blown off. Shoot.
Hmm. But
I
she's
wonder
singing
what
it in
I wonder
tribute
what
to
made
her
her think
father.
that. Yeah. But I wonder what made her be like, let me sing this right now.
I don't know. She's just thinking about her dad and probably how much she misses him. Because again, the lyrics, right?
Mm-hmm.
The charming one who dwells in shaded bowers, one fond embrace ere I depart until we meet again.
Yeah. Yeah. That was pretty sad.
Hmm.
You know. Um but yeah. They realized that they were not zombies and did not shoot them even though they had direct orders to shoot them.
Hmm.
So yeah.
So that is Train to Busan. Shall we rate it?
Yes, let's go on ahead and do that. Let's see. We have our rating system where we have one movie real trash AF, two it exists, three entertaining, four great, five a true classic. Maria,
Hmm.
what say you?
No, what do you say, Lindsay? What do you say?
What do I say? I would give it a 3.5.
3.5. Why 3.5?
It was definitely entertaining. And it did have some human moments in it. You know, especially for me not being too fully immersed in the
Mm.
zombie culture. It
The
was,
zombie culture.
yeah, it was entertaining. So, and it wasn't too bad because those type of things they can get gruesome.
Hmm.
It wasn't that. It wasn't gruesome. I don't feel it was gruesome.
No, no, I don't think it was that gruesome either. You have some blood, but it's not cartoonish
No,
amounts.
no, it's not.
Yeah,
It's more realistic.
yeah,
So, and they're not trying to show you every bit of somebody's guts,
no,
So, but
not gory.
yeah, it's not gory at all.
Hmm.
Um, but the storylines were good. It did kind of pull on your heartstrings a bit. And it do get you thinking, like, what would you do in a zombie apocalypse? Maybe we should prepare ourselves. But yeah, yeah, that was my rating. What's yours?
-4.
Okay.
I think it's a great movie.
Hmm.
Period. The acting is great. Storyline is really good. Character progression.
Yeah.
You kind of get to know who everybody is a little bit, so that you can form an attachment to them when things happen.
Hmm.
The action was fantastic. The action was
Yeah.
fantastic. And like the tension you could feel while it was happening, just like
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think for me it's the best zombie movie I've seen.
You
I
said it's
do
the
love
best what?
Zombieland though. It's the best zombie movie I've seen.
Oh, okay, okay.
I do love Zombieland though, but this one is really great. I feel like so. Um, I do want to see the sequels and the prequel. I haven't seen any of those yet
Yeah.
to see if
Yeah.
that may change things in any direction. But I feel like it was a really good movie.
Yeah.
Very satisfying.
Now, when you watched it, did you watch it? Oh, oh, excuse me. Did you
Mhm.
watch the dubbed version, or did you watch the subtitles?
Subtitles. Is
Okay.
there a dub version?
Yes, that's the only way I watched it.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a dub version. What did I watch it on? Um, Tubi? Was it on Tubi?
Oh, okay, I watched it on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I watched it on Tubi. And they had like three different versions, but one of them
Oh,
was the dub version. And I was
okay.
like, dub it is, because me and closed caption are not friends.
Oh, I have closed caption on almost everything that I watch.
I can't, because I'm going to focus on the words and not what's going on.
Let's see, I read pretty quickly, so it's like glance. But then also,
So,
what I've noticed is a lot more media these days, their sound mixing is not that great.
yeah.
So it can be really hard to hear or understand what somebody says.
Now, when that happens, I'll rewind it and turn the closed captions on.
And so I usually just have them on. So
Yeah. I know a lot of
even
people
when I'm
do
watching
that.
something in English.
Yeah. I know a lot of people that do that. And then like if somebody got a really, really, really thick accent, then I have to turn it on.
Oh yeah, Peaky Blinders. I gotta have it on. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, I can't. It is just me. I just focus on the words. Even though I hear them clearly, if I just focus on the words, I can't focus on nothing else on the screen. So I just
Mhm.
don't have them on.
No, that's all right. But yeah, I do prefer to watch sub, particularly because a lot of times dub they don't sync up real well,
Yeah.
and that bothers me.
Yeah. I can see why
There's
that would bother.
one show I was watching that I did not even know it was dubbed, and
Mhm.
so until I started watching it, and I was like, "This the sounds they're making in the mouth it doesn't make sense." Like,
Mhm.
and that's when I was like, "Wait a minute, what is this?" And it was a French show or something. I was like, "Oh, okay,
Yeah.
subtitles, please," because then
No.
I'll be too distracted by the lack of synchronization.
Right. Right. And that makes sense. That makes sense because that is distracting as well.
Hmm.
But yeah. No, I fought through that. Yeah. Because me and subtitles, man.
I mean, sometimes I do need dubs because I'm like, I really don't
Yeah.
want to have to read,
Yeah.
or
Ever
I'm
reading.
just too tired. I just want to like,
Just want to watch it.
yeah, or maybe I want to like play a game or whatever while I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My mom always thinks I'm not watching. I'm just like, I see everything that's happening. I'm really just a glance.
Right. Right. Yeah.
But yeah, that is Train to Busan.
Yes.
I think it's really great. I would definitely recommend it to anybody.
Yeah.
I, like I said, I definitely want to see the sequel and the prequel.
Mhm.
Um, let's see, they said it was the first like Korean film to break out into the US and make like $10 million. The first one to make like $10 million in the
Yeah. I
US.
heard it was a big success.
It was a big success, yes, because it was the budget was 8.5.
Oh, okay. And they made 10 million in the U.S. alone.
Well, they made 98.5 million. They were just the first to make that much in the US.
Oh, wow.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was wrong. So the film set a record as the first Korean film of 2016 to break the audience record of over 10 million theater goers.
Oh, okay. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, 2.2 million in the United States and Canada.
Okay.
Hmm. Total wide world is 98.5. But
Gotcha.
yeah, it was very well reviewed. It won awards
Hmm.
for it and everything. So yeah, I would add this to a, you know what? I'm gonna change my rating.
What? Okay. What are we changing it to?
It's a classic.
Wow.
It's a classic.
So, what made you change the rating?
I can't think of another movie like it.
Okay.
I don't feel disappointed by anything that happened in the movie.
Okay. Yeah. I give you that, especially coming off of White Men Can't Jump, where our biggest critique was not having a backstory.
Hmm.
We got the backstory,
We did.
you know, and it wasn't no huge like, oh my god, here go the exposition. It
Yeah.
wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Like it was subtle, but it was perfect, like understood.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I give you that.
Yeah. You got enough to get invested in the characters without feeling like you're going on an exposition dump for sure.
Right, right, right.
Like you said. But
Yeah.
yes, the prequel is Seoul Station. Sequels are Peninsula and Train to Busan 3.
Yeah, I saw the Peninsula, um, but is three already out?
I think it's coming out soon.
Okay, yeah, because all I was seeing was like trailers.
Hmm.
Yeah, but I did see that Peninsula was out.
Yeah. They're trying to make an American version, which will be called The Last Train to New York. So maybe that's where you got that from.
Maybe, maybe, but does it have to go to New York?
I
Can it
mean,
be
why?
the
Do
last
you want
train
it to
to
come to Kansas City? Is
Albuquerque?
that what you
Like, no, no. Keep them zombies away from Kansas City.
Okay.
We've already had a bad week now, and
Listen.
it's only one.
Ooh.
No, keep us out of it.
All right. Let Kansas City recover.
Yeah, let us
Respect
recover.
our privacy at this time.
Right. Right.
So,
Right.
what are we going to be doing next week, Lindsay?
Next review is Dead Presidents.
Dead Presidents. All right. What's that on?
Yes. It is on Tubi.
Okay.
I think. I think that's what I saw. It was Tubi. But yeah. Um, yep. So Dead Presidents. Let you know this now. I'm not gonna tell you where until the review. But when I watched this as an adolescent, I was traumatized. I had to sleep with music on and my door open
Oh my
for
God.
a couple of weeks. There's just one part where I was severely traumatized.
Damn.
Yeah. Still a little affected by it. So for me, it was a horror movie.
Sounds like it.
So yeah. But yeah, I'm not gonna tell you where or what happened or anything like that. But yeah, I was traumatized like a mother.
Okay.
Jeez Louise.
I will keep that in mind.
Yeah. I feel like you'll figure it out when it happens.
Probably. Or
Yeah.
maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, Dead Presidents is the next one.
Okay. We'll do Dead Presidents for next time.
Yep.
Mm.
So Maria, where can we find you?
Oh, you can find me online pretty much on Blue Sky. valarmordollars.bsky.social, VALARMOR dollars. I'm on some other platforms too. I'm just not super active, but if you want to find me, I'll be there at that name. Also have another podcast with 5 other Black ladies where we talk about geeky, nerdy tech things called Nerdgasm Noir. So you can come follow me there too. And where can they find you, Lindsay?
You can find me everywhere at L_Ranelle. That's L_RANELLE. And you can also find me on my other podcast where me and my cousin talk about various topics. It is called The Ish We Talk. So yeah.
Yeah, go follow her there.
Yeah. Right. Well, this was episode 73 of Roomies Review the Movies, and we will see you guys for episode 74, Dead Presidents.
Don't get bit.
Please don't. We want you alive to come back and watch
Yes.
Dead Presidents. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Bye.
Bye.